Hello everyone, and today I'm going to show you how to make these vintage style jigglers. They are made out of Jell-O, and I'm not going to show you how to make them like the Jell-O company says online. I'm going to show you how my grandmother taught me how to make them and how I grew up making them and eating them and enjoying them, and I wanted to share them with you guys because I feel like her technique and her recipe works way better than what I have found online. First, we start with the Jell-O molds. You used to be able to buy these at Walmart, but I find them all the time at yard sales, and you can also get them online at places like eBay or other resellers. I use cooking spray, non-stick cooking spray, and I spray a little bit in each container, and then I take the tip of my finger and I spread it around every side, every crevice, every corner. Your finger works better for this. And then I'm taking paper towel and making what I would consider like a pickle shape. And you're mainly dabbing the middle, the bottom part where the nonstick cooking spray may have settled and accumulated in the bottom. You do not want a bunch because you don't want it to make the Jell-O taste funny. But you also need this for that, so that way it won't stick. So I'm just dabbing real lightly in the middle, soaking up all that in the middle, all that extra. And I'm really not wiping the sides at all. Next, you're going to grab your Jell-O. I use sugar-free Jell-O. And basically, you cut the recipe in half. So this is suggesting 2 cups of hot water, 2 cups of cold water. And the way that my grandma used to do it and taught me is you cut that in half. So we're only doing 2 cups. Instead of 4 cups, we're only going to do 2. And they're all going to be hot. So I'm getting 2 cups out of the fridge now. I do suggest filtered water for this. Or, water bottles. I'm going to be microwaving it for 3 minutes. 2 cups of water for 3 minutes. And you can use your own judgment if your microwave's different, but I want to make sure that it is very hot. I get a plate ready so that I don't get my counter stained with Jell-O. Because, girl, let me tell you, I've been there, done that. Put a paper plate down. Get a spoon. And this is a 1/4 measuring cup. That's just the size that I prefer for this. After it has been cooking for 3 minutes, we're going to put it on the paper plate. This is also very important. Before you put your Jell-O in, take a spoon and lightly stir it first. This will keep it from bubbling over. If you put your Jell-O straight in it, especially if it's really hot, you're gonna get very dyeable stuff that's gonna just bubble over and go everywhere and stain everything that it touches. And also, you don't want a lot of bubbles in your Jell-O because then it makes it look weird when they come out. They'll have like different shades of green, or they'll have like, bubbles that de-popped. Next, I bring the mold right up to the paper plate. I take my 1/4 cup here that has a little, I don't know what you call that on the very end, like a little pourable side. That's what I suggest, a pourable side. That's what makes it so nice. And this is just like the perfect size. I can just add a little bit at a time, kind of let it sit. I think I forgot to mention, when you're stirring, stir this shit really good, okay? Walk away for 5 minutes, come back, stir it some more. Make sure that it is settled. You don't want a bunch of froth on top because that will also make your jigglers look weird. So just make sure that it's really stirred, and if you see different coloring or frothiness on top, walk away for 5 minutes, come back. We are turning our canvas because that is one thing I learned in art class that has always stuck with me is don't contort your body to make art. Turn your canvas. So we are turning it so that we make this the easiest on us as possible. Once we're done with that, we're going to open the fridge first, then carefully walk this over to the fridge. If you don't trust yourself, I suggest putting this Jell-O mold on a cookie sheet, and that will make it a lot easier to walk over. These are really old Jell-O molds, so they're really thick plastic, but some of the newer ones are cheaper, and you might want a cookie sheet. And then I just grab the next mold and keep on going. Here is the next day. I always suggest just wait overnight. It's just better that way. My grandmother, one of her techniques was filling up the sink with warm water to about right there. I don't like doing that. I feel like it kind of melts the design. So the other technique that we do is this one, which I actually prefer. I take my finger, make sure your hand's clean, your nails are clean, and I'm just going to poke one corner just to break that seal. Once that seal is broken, I'm just going to slowly work on pulling it away. This is a really uncomfortable angle to try to show you guys, but usually it does not take this long. But see how I'm just pulling it away from the mold? And then you're going to rub down the middle to break the bottom part of the mold. So I'm just kind of pushing and rubbing and stroking. And then you just tap, tap, and that bad boy comes right on out. It's a little snowman. And it's literally that easy. You don't need to fill up your sink with water and do all that. So here I'll show you guys one more time. Just trying to kind of break the little feet loose. And usually I don't do one at a time like this. I'm just doing this to show you guys. I would sit here and I would do them all real quick, and then I would just pop them out real quick. And then you're gonna rub to get that part, right? Come right out. So here they're popping out. We got a Santa Claus, we got a Christmas tree. I already showed you the snowman. Here's a Christmas tree. And then little gingerbread man and snowman. There are stars on this mold, but when they're that small, it just doesn't ever work out very good. I'm doing one of each in these little containers for some of our family members. And these are just lunch meat containers that I've saved and washed. And I always keep extra. These are great for gift giving. I guess you could buy some too, but I have a whole drawer full, so I'm always hoarding that stuff. And then this plate here is going to actually be going to DC's work party. I'm taking a glass plate of red and a glass plate of green for his work party, but I'm also making some for family as well. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you decide to make some Jell-O jigglers, please leave them in the comments down below. I also want to mention, if you don't have Jell-O molds, that you can just use a really thick cookie sheet and a pizza cutter and make squares that way and still use my same recipe. You can do a brownie pan and use a pizza cutter and make squares that way. However you want. I hope you guys get the chance to make some Christmas jigglers this year. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.